Mark 1. In 2008, Tony Stark was ambushed and captured by the terrorist organization known as the Ten Rings. They forced him to recreate his devastating Jericho missiles, but instead, with the help of fellow captive Ho Yinsen, Tony secretly constructed the Mark 1 Iron Man suit using nothing but scrap metal and improvised machine parts, all in a desperate attempt to escape. The Mark 1 was crude but deadly. It featured built-in flamethrowers in its gauntlets, a shoulder-mounted rocket launcher, and powerful rocket boosters in the boots that allowed for limited flight, just enough to break free from captivity. The suit was later recovered by Obadiah Stane, who reverse-engineered its design to create his own armored weapon, the Ironmonger. The Mark II. After returning home from Afghanistan, Tony immediately began work on the Mark II Iron Man suit. This version was sleeker, more refined, and equipped with improved weapons and a far more advanced flight system. Most importantly, it was the first suit to integrate Jarvis as a fully operational onboard AI. However, the Mark II wasn't perfect. During high-altitude testing, Tony encountered the suit's infamous icing problem. The armor began to freeze over, causing its systems to fail and nearly sending him into a catastrophic crash. Because of this flaw, the suit was ultimately shelved. Later, the Mark II would resurface when James Rhodes seized the armor. With the support of the U.S. Air Force and weapons upgrades supplied by Justin Hammer, the suit was converted into the first War Machine armor. Mark III. The Mark III was the first suit to feature Tony's iconic red and gold color scheme, with the gold plating made from a titanium gold alloy originally used on satellites, a breakthrough that finally solved the icing problem. This was the moment Iron Man truly became Iron Man. The suit featured fully perfected flight systems, stabilized weapons, and reliable combat performance for the first time. Tony most notably used the Mark III during his final battle against Obadiah Stane in Los Angeles. Although he ultimately defeated the Ironmonger, the suit sustained massive damage in the fight and was left nearly destroyed. Following this, the Mark IV was built using the remaining parts of the Mark III, featuring only minor upgrades and refinements rather than a full redesign. Mark V. The Mark V is the suit Tony famously deployed during the Monaco Grand Prix, stored inside a portable briefcase. This marked the beginning of Tony's shift toward creating specialized armors designed for specific purposes, in this case, rapid deployment and mobility. Because of its compact design, the Mark V was actually weaker than the Mark IV in overall performance, sacrificing firepower and durability for portability. Even so, it proved effective, allowing Tony to defeat Ivan Vanko during their high-speed confrontation. The Mark VI suit was specifically designed to integrate with Tony's upgraded triangular arc reactor. It introduced new weapon systems, including wrist-mounted lasers, and visually featured a triangular arc reactor in the chest rather than the traditional circular design. However, the suit had one notable drawback. Its internal mechanisms made it more difficult for Tony to exit quickly, and in one instance, this delay caused the armor to sustain heavy damage. The Mark VII began as an unfinished prototype that Tony was still developing, but when Loki threw him out of a window during the Battle of New York, Tony was forced to deploy the suit prematurely, revealing its revolutionary new feature. The armor could automatically assemble itself around him at his command. This became Tony's primary suit during the Battle of New York, and he even used it to take down a massive Chitauri Leviathan on his own. However, the suit had a critical limitation. It wasn't designed to function properly in deep space. After carrying a nuclear missile through the wormhole, the Mark VII lost power, sending Tony plummeting back toward Earth, where he narrowly survived. This near-death experience deeply affected Tony, triggering severe PTSD and anxiety. Haunted by the possibility of another world-ending threat, he became obsessed with preparation, rapidly constructing an entire army of new Iron Man suits to ensure he would never be caught unprepared again. This growing arsenal would eventually become known as the Iron Legion, consisting of armors ranging from Mark VIII through Mark 41. Starting with the Mark VIII, this suit was largely similar to the Mark VII, but featured slightly improved overall performance and maneuverability. The Mark IX added more weapon systems than any previous suit and could be remotely summoned by Tony from virtually anywhere in the world. This was also the suit Pepper destroyed during the climax of Iron Man 3, punching through its arc reactor and using its arm repulsor to defeat Aldrich Killian. The Mark X introduced upgraded flight capabilities, allowing it to fly nearly 3 times faster than earlier models. The Mark 11 followed with minor refinements, most notably a larger, redesigned helmet and slightly enhanced systems. The Mark 12 introduced a new color scheme to Tony's armors and was constructed from a carbon-based alloy reinforced with gold titanium, making it more durable than any previous suit. The Mark 13 marked a return to an all-silver design, continuing Stark's trend of constant innovation. It also became the first suit to feature a rectangular arc reactor in the chest. The Mark 14 was largely similar in design and performance, but reverted back to a circular arc reactor configuration. But with the Mark 15, the suits began to become far more specialized, with many of them receiving unique code names personally assigned by Tony. This one was appropriately called Sneaky. Designed specifically for stealth operations, the Mark 15 incorporated technology borrowed from real-world stealth aircraft, including angled surfaces and radar-absorbent materials. Its chrome finish could dynamically darken or lighten, allowing the suit to blend into nearly any environment and avoid both visual and radar detection. The Mark 16, also known as Nightclub, was another stealth-focused suit. Unlike Sneaky, its main feature was the ability to shift from its standard red and gold appearance to an all-black finish, allowing Tony to blend seamlessly into virtually any environment for maximum concealment. The Mark 17, codenamed Heartbreaker, was the polar opposite of the previous specialized suits. Built like a walking tank, it was bulkier than any of its predecessors and packed with enhanced weapon systems. This armor was specifically designed for heavy fire combat, able to withstand intense battle conditions while delivering devastating firepower. The Mark 18, codenamed Casanova, combined the best features of Heartbreaker and Nightclub. It enhanced stealth capabilities with advanced cloaking technology while also incorporating a heavier arsenal of weapons, making it both deadly and difficult to detect in combat. The Mark 19, codenamed Tiger, was designed for high-altitude flight and could reach speeds far exceeding any previous suit. Its advanced propulsion systems made it one of Tony's fastest and most agile armors to date. The Mark 20, codenamed Python, featured a sleek black and gold design and was built to prioritize energy efficiency above all else. This allowed Tony to operate the suit for extended periods, making it ideal for long-range missions or prolonged engagements. The Mark 21, codenamed Midas, was one of the first suits, alongside the Mark 20, capable of supersonic flight. While it could reach incredible speeds, the technology was still experimental, and Tony continued refining it to achieve fully stable and reliable supersonic performance. The Mark 22, codenamed Hot Rod, featured a bold design with flame decals on its boots, inspired by the Hot Rod car in Tony's personal garage. Interestingly, this suit wasn't originally intended for Tony himself. It was a prototype concept meant to evolve into a second-generation War Machine armor for James Rhodes. However, the design was ultimately destroyed before it could ever be included in Rhodey's active armor lineup or deployed in the field. The Mark 23, codenamed Shades, was designed to allow Tony to survive extreme heat conditions. It was one of the few suits he ever built that did not include any offensive weaponry, focusing entirely on protection and environmental resistance rather than combat. The Mark 24, codenamed Tank, was built for heavy firepower situations. As the name suggests, it featured significantly thicker armor, allowing it to withstand sustained punishment while operating in the most intense combat zones. The Mark 25, codenamed Striker, was equipped with massive jackhammer arms, turning it into a tank-like powerhouse on the battlefield. Tony deployed this suit during his fight against Aldrich Killian, where its sheer strength proved invaluable. The Mark 26, codenamed Gamma, was similar in design to the Mark 25, but featured one striking upgrade. It could withstand gamma radiation. Its green color scheme was also a clear nod to the Hulk, reflecting the suit's unique resilience and power. The Mark 27, codenamed Disco, was one of the most visually striking Iron Man suits Tony ever built, featuring vibrant blue and orange colors. Despite its bold appearance, it was actually a stealth suit, far more advanced than any of its predecessors. Its technology allowed the armor to blend into its surroundings like a chameleon, dynamically changing colors to match the environment. Unfortunately, we never got to see this suit in action. The Mark 28, codenamed Jack, was specifically designed to protect its wearer from high levels of radiation, prioritizing defense and survivability in hazardous environments over combat capabilities. The Mark 29, codenamed Fiddler, drew inspiration from the Fiddler Crab, featuring one oversized jackhammer arm alongside a standard-sized arm. This unique design allowed it to combine heavy construction power with greater maneuverability on the battlefield. The Mark 30, codenamed Blue Steel, was primarily designed for energy efficiency, allowing Tony to operate it for extended periods. Despite its focus on endurance, it also featured hidden wrist-mounted blades that could be deployed when needed. The Mark 31, codenamed Piston, was one of Tony's fastest suits to date, capable of reaching speeds exceeding Mach 4. Its advanced propulsion systems made it ideal for high-speed flight and rapid response missions. The Mark 32, codenamed Romeo, was most notable for its incredibly powerful chest-mounted repulsor, capable of delivering devastating energy blasts. The Mark 33, codenamed Silver Centurion, reintroduced deployable blades to its arsenal, which Tony famously used to sever Aldrich Killian's arm during their battle. The Mark 34, codenamed Southpaw, was designed specifically for responding to natural disasters such as floods and tornadoes. Its specialized tools and reinforced structure made it ideal for rescue operations in extreme conditions. The Mark 35, codenamed Red Snapper, was the successor to the Mark 34, retaining its focus on disaster response. Unlike its predecessor, it featured two large retractable claws instead of just one, improving its versatility and effectiveness in rescue operations. The Mark 36, codenamed Peacemaker, was designed specifically for riot control. Its distinctive all-orange design made it instantly recognizable, while its specialized systems allowed Tony to manage chaotic situations safely and effectively. The Mark 37, codenamed Hammerhead, was Tony's first suit designed for full underwater operation. It also introduced infrared scanners, giving him enhanced vision capabilities in low-light and obscured environments. The Mark 38, codenamed Igor, was the strongest suit in the entire Iron Legion. It was built to serve as Tony's personal powerhouse, assisting in both battle and heavy-lifting survival situations, capable of handling tasks no other suit could. The Mark 39, codenamed Gemini, was Tony's first suit specifically designed for space travel. Equipped with reinforced armor and advanced thrusters, it allowed him to operate safely in the vacuum of space and handle suborbital missions. The Mark 40, codenamed Shotgun, was a hypervelocity suit and the fastest armor Tony had ever built, capable of reaching speeds of up to Mach 5. Its advanced propulsion systems made it ideal for extreme high-speed flight and rapid response missions. The Mark 41, codenamed Bones, is arguably one of Tony's most unique suit designs and marked the final armor of the Iron Legion. Its standout feature was the ability to separate into individual pieces, each capable of flying independently, giving Tony unmatched versatility in combat and deployment. The Mark 42, better known as the Prodigal Son, was the iconic suit Tony wore as his main armor in Iron Man 3. Its most remarkable feature was its ability to self-assemble and return to him on command. Tony could even direct the suit to assemble around other people, a capability he used to save Pepper Potts and trap Aldrich Killian. In the final battle, the armor was ultimately destroyed when Tony triggered its self-destruct sequence around Killian, destroying the suit forever. The Mark 43 was nearly identical to the Mark 42 and made its first major appearance during the opening of Age of Ultron. Its most striking feature, however, was the ability to be remotely controlled by Jarvis, allowing Jarvis to stand guard with the suit as a sentry. The Mark 44, better known as the Hulkbuster, was the iconic suit Tony used to take on the Hulk. Designed collaboratively by Tony Stark and Bruce Banner, it was built to counter an uncontrollable Hulk. The armor featured immense brute strength capable of matching the Hulk blow for blow, specialized tools like sleeping gas, and other systems designed for subduing him. It was most famously seen during their duel in Johannesburg, where the intense battle pushed the suit to its limits and ultimately allowed the Hulkbuster to gain the upper hand over the raging Hulk. The Hulkbuster was also the first suit capable of being repaired mid-battle through the Veronica satellite system. This orbital platform could deploy replacement components directly from the sky, allowing damaged sections of the armor to be rapidly rebuilt and reinforced in real time during combat. The Mark 45 was the suit Tony wore during the Battle of Sokovia against Ultron. Its most notable feature was the introduction of Tony's new AI assistant, Friday. With this suit, and with the help of Thor, Tony was able to save the Earth from Ultron's meteor and ultimately defeat Ultron once and for all. The Mark 46 was the suit Tony wore during Civil War. Visually similar to the Mark 45, it featured additional arc reactors and was more powerful overall. However, the suit met its end during Tony's intense battle against Captain America and the Winter Soldier, ultimately being destroyed in the confrontation. The Mark 47 was the suit featured in Homecoming. Its most notable feature was the ability to be controlled remotely without Tony inside, which he famously used to monitor and communicate with Peter Parker from a distance. The Mark 48, better known as Hulkbuster 2.0, was the successor to the original Hulkbuster and was ironically worn by Bruce Banner during the Battle of Wakanda. Stronger and faster than its predecessor, the suit's full potential wasn't fully showcased due to Banner's limited experience piloting it. Despite this, he managed to use it to defeat Cull Obsidian, though that victory was largely a matter of luck rather than skill. The Mark 49, also known as the Rescue Armor, was specially built for Pepper Potts and made its appearance in Endgame. While it shared many of the iconic abilities of Tony's Iron Man suits, its standout feature was the ability to deploy energy sentries powerful enough to destroy entire necrocraft in a single blast. The Mark L, or Mark 50, marked a revolutionary change for the Iron Man suits as Tony gained access to nanotechnology for the first time. With this advanced tech, he could deploy the suit instantly, repair it mid-battle, and even form a variety of weapons on the fly, from energy shields to jackhammers. Up to that point, it was Tony's most powerful and versatile suit in every way. The Mark 85 was the pinnacle of Tony Stark's Iron Man suits, a direct evolution of the Mark 50. It retained all the nanotech capabilities of its predecessor but was far stronger, able to deploy more advanced weapons and channel immense power with greater efficiency than ever before. Most notably, this suit was designed to house the Infinity Stones in its gauntlet,